Hello and welcome back. So, last time we did notice that there was a significant difference between Herrscher of the Reason and, of course, the latest Herrscher. And well, now I'm quite curious to see the differences between her and, of course, between Herrscher of the Void. Now, of course, there is first a big difference between these two characters. First big difference is the type, of course, and the second big difference is, of course, the damage type. This character is a elemental damage dealer, pretty much focuses on lightning damage, while Herrscher of the Void is a physical Valkyrie and is pretty much one of the best physical damage dealers in the game. So, both of them are very unique in that aspect. Now, when it comes to their usability in the game, you can use this character as a support. I did see people use her as a support lately because of the problems that the character comes with, and of course the crashing issue that's been known since like version 3.1. And of course, Herrscher of the Thunder can also be used as a support, but in most cases people are going to use her as a primary DPS, because currently she is the latest Herrscher, and as such she is pretty much the highest damage dealer in the game overall. Now, both of these characters are actually really good. You can use both of them, and in my personal team I have the three of them. I have all three Herrschers in one team, and so far I can say that was really fun, and it did work quite well. Now, one significant advantage that Herrscher of the Void will have over Herrscher of the Thunder is in boss battles where the enemy is having elemental resistances. That pretty much means elemental Valkyries are definitely going to be very useless against a enemy or a boss that has full elemental resistance. And one such boss is Kallen. She has pretty much 100% elemental resistances, and using elemental Valkyries against this boss is pretty much a not good idea. And of course that means you can use your physicals against this character, and in this case physicals are definitely going to shine over the elementals, and here the physicals are actually going to be very useful. Now, this boss is one of those bosses that I personally haven't seen in a while on the live servers. I don't remember the last time I actually did see this boss, and I don't know. I find that quite interesting, since currently the meta is full elementals. The physicals are kind of forgotten, so that's kind of interesting. And of course, the meta is constantly changing, so I guess one day physicals are definitely going to be back at their previous glory that they had. Now, of course, same goes to Abyss. In Abyss, you're also going to have different weathers. Some weather will favor elementals, some weather will favor physicals, and some weather is going to be neutral. And of course, that's why all of these characters can be utilized in these different circumstances, and I pretty much use all of these Valkyries. And of course, I will use all of these Valkyries on the live servers. That's one thing that is definitely going to happen. And I'd like to have all of these Valkyries in one team. All of the Herrschers, that is. Since that, I think that's a nearly perfect team for all situations. If you encounter a enemy that has pretty much ice, or pretty much, let's say, lightning resistances, you can switch to Herrscher of the Reason and pretty much kill it with ice damage. Or if the enemy has full elemental resistance, then you can pretty much just switch to your physical, and your physical will also do good damage against the mob or boss that has elemental resistance. Now, Kallen was very interesting, and I am definitely not going to attempt fighting Kallen with Mei, because, well, Kallen has lightning. Kallen has overall full elemental resistance, so fighting her with a elemental is kind of pointless. Well, the next boss. Now this is where things are going to be interesting. Of course, keep in mind, both of these Valkyries are using pre-arm weapons, and both of them are maximum gear, like maximum rank, maximum gear, and both of them are actually overall maxed out. So pretty much these are full maxed out Valkyries that are pretty much at the peak of their power. And we are going to see a big difference in score here. I'm not quite sure why. I mean, it is pretty much already known that when we look at Herrscher of the Thunder, that she does have overall more damage than any other current character in the game. And Herrscher of the Thunder is pretty much currently the highest damage dealing Valkyrie in the game. And I personally think she is also the highest damage dealing Valkyrie of all time so far ever released into the game, since apparently Herrscher of the Reason also got out damaged big time actually compared to Herrscher of the Thunder. And of course I did account the initial release day, and I can safely say Herrscher of the Reason got outclassed big time when compared with Herrscher of the Thunder. Now, with Herrscher of the Void here, definitely pretty much a similar situation. The scores are going to be a little bit worse than the scores that you can see with Herrscher of the Reason. And let's see, 26,100 points. Well, 26,000 points, or almost 26,100. Well, that was pretty decent. Now, let's see how much points I can get with Herrscher of the Thunder. And I can already tell you, I think it will be around 29,000 if I remember correctly. My record is 30,000 flat, so that's one thing that I did achieve. And this is a boss that is weak against ice damage and is strong against fire damage. And that pretty much means alighting and physical should be neutral towards this boss. So this is pretty much a interesting fight, because the both characters definitely have no advantage or disadvantage against this boss, since I did see no lightning buff or no physical buff, so pretty much neutral towards those two. And let's see what will happen. Well, the boss is definitely going down very fast. The boss is actually almost down. Oh well, that was very fast. And this is 29,866 points. Well, a significant boost, significant difference when compared to Herrscher the Void score. A big difference actually, a very big difference. Interesting. Well then, on to the next boss. Another neutral boss. This is, I think, Homo Emperor. Again, a boss that's pretty much neutral towards any damage type, so pretty much every Valkyrie should be equally effective against this. At least that's what the buffs did show, so it's pretty much a neutral boss. And well, this is the boss where I am not going to be able to use my ultimate, because of the boss's debuffs. I need a different team for that, but so far I'm measuring the brute force, the brute power of these two characters. And well, let's see how much points can both of these characters get without using their ultimates. And of course, if I can use my ultimate, that is a bonus for the character, of course, since that means that the character is more effective at getting SP than the other one. And in that case, that character is actually more effective. And well, the boss is going down, and I guess around maybe 26,000 points again. That's pretty much my expected estimate. And of course, we will see what will happen. And there we go. The boss is going down, and the boss died. Well, that was a nice run, 27,840 points. That was pretty decent. I think that was a pretty decent run without ultimate. Now, let's jump on Herrscher of the Thunder. Let's see how she will perform. And, well, this character is already known to regenerate SP very fast, very rapidly. And kind of curious to see if I can get a ultimate with this current setup that I'm using. If I'm lucky, I will get one ultimate. And that will be a big bonus for the character, a very big bonus, because with other characters I was unable to get the ultimate with this current lineup and with this current setup. So that will be very interesting to see how it will work. Well, Definitely this character does feel a little bit different than Herrscher of the Reason, than Herrscher of the Void, especially because this character is taking damage very difficult. This is very interesting. This character is definitely taking damage a lot less than other characters. Taking damage with this character is very difficult, and I did actually try to get hit, and I can get hit, but I did notice with other bosses and with other battles, it is very hard for me to get hit and to take damage when using this character. She has a lot of these invincibility frames, and that is about to be abused by a lot of players. I can already see that. I can already see that happening. Well, I did get one ultimate, and let's see the points. And it's actually, well, 28,000. Well, I almost 29,000 points. And that is also a difference from Herrscher of the Void's score. A decent difference, actually. So, Herrscher of the Thunder did actually win that one too. So that's interesting. That's actually very interesting. Well then, on to the next boss. Now this is, I think, Himeko. Well, she's already dead, so I guess killing her twice won't matter much. Okay, jokes aside. Now this is also a interesting boss to fight. Pretty much you have all three types here, and you are definitely going to fight all three types at one point, and this boss is also going to be... this boss is also very interesting to fight. And it will be interesting to see how fast each of these characters will kill the boss. And well, my expectancy for this is around 28,000 points, but let's see. Well, I have to say though, Herrscher the Void definitely feels a lot weaker now than when she was first released. A lot weaker actually. If I were to give a percentage, I feel like she got weaker at least 50% or even more. 28,000 points flat. Alright, well that was pretty nice. I was close. I was pretty close with the points. Well, 28,000 points flat, so that's interesting. Okay, sorry for the weird cut. Let's see how May will perform against this boss. I think I will get... Let's see... I think 29,000 points again. I think it's 29,000 points that I'll get on this boss with this character. Alright, well, let's see what will happen. Now, so far, Herrscher of the Thunder is, as everyone has expected, is pretty much dominating the DPS charts. She's absolutely outclassing, outperforming any Valkyrie currently available in the game. And she is currently the highest damage dealer in the game, like I said before. And currently the highest elemental damage dealer in the game. What is the next Valkyrie going to be like? The next Herrscher, since it's already clear that the next Herrscher will also pretty much dwarf the DPS of this one, so things are about to be very interesting. But again, that's at the moment speculation, and we will see what will happen pretty much around 9 to 10 months from this point when the next Herrscher will be released. Well, I have to say that was a interesting run. 29,000 points. Well, I was pretty close as I have expected, and pretty much that was a very interesting run. As expected, pretty much dominated the charts. Now, of course, you can use physicals in certain situations. Physicals are going to be very good at maps that have physical buff, and of course that have elemental debuff. Now, of course, it depends on what elemental buff or debuff I'm talking about. If it is lightning debuff, if it is a lightning nerf in the weather, then of course you are definitely not going to use the lightning characters for this, because lightning characters are definitely going to be having a disadvantage. And of course, if they have a physical buff and, for example, a ice debuff or a ice nerf, then you can use. Now that's actually very interesting. What will happen when the weather favors physicals? and the weather has a ice damage reduction. Um, are physicals going to be outclassed by the lightning damage dealers? That's a very interesting question that deserves to be explored, and I think I will do that when the time comes. Definitely looking forward to see how that will work. I'm still waiting for the weather in the game in the abyss to be pretty much the right one that I need to test this out. Since currently I did not encounter that, I currently encounter only lighting buffs and only lighting buff and only lighting buff and only neutral ones. And I'm also climbing abyss because for some reason I got demoted back to sinful, and now I need to climb back to Murade, and I'll do that really quickly. I'll just need one day for that. So, overall, I have to say, I do like all of the Herrschers in the game. I mean, a year ago, I did say that I'll use all three Herrschers in one team, and well, the time came for me to do that, and of course, I will do it. And I think using them in a team is definitely going to be interesting, and that way, I think that's a very fun way to use these characters, since having all three in one team is definitely going to be it's definitely going to be very interesting, since this is one of the ideas that I did get a while back, and I'm definitely going to keep on using that idea. Although you can pretty much use each of them individually, that also works pretty fine. Although it mostly will depend on the weather, and it will mostly depend on the situations that you're fighting, and of course the debuffs and buffs, since currently everyone knows that we are going to have a lighting buff for a very long time in 4.1, and well, that is going to be very interesting to see how it will roll out. Well then, so far I have to say it's been a really good beta. I did enjoy it. I hope that you enjoyed it as well. And well, next time when I return, I'm definitely going to see the differences between more of these characters, since I think it is very important to know the differences between all the different S-class characters in the game, since not all S-classes are equal. Some S classes are better than other S classes, and some S classes are better at doing things that other S classes are, so that's also going to be a very interesting topic. And well, with that being said, I hope you enjoyed. Stay safe, take care, and I'll see you next time.